Things are clearly not going well for Donald Trump. His physical condition and mental sharpness appear to be declining fast. At this point, it's hard to say how much longer this can continue. His body seems to be breaking down, and mentally he doesn't appear to be functioning the same way anymore. We saw all of this unfold during that chaotic Oval Office meeting yesterday with Japan's Prime Minister Takaishi, where Trump lashed out and bizarrely asked, "Why didn't you tell me about Pearl Harbor before it happened?" Then he followed it up by saying he wanted to surprise her with an invasion of Iran, claiming Japan understands surprise better than anyone. Let's take a closer look at what Trump's hand looked like during that meeting. Zoom in on it. The discoloration is obvious. It doesn't look normal at all. We already know about the rashes on his neck, and now both of his hands appear unhealthy. When Prime Minister Takaishi arrived, you can see Trump throwing his hands up awkwardly. And it's not just that. He doesn't even seem able to walk properly anymore. We've seen this before too, including during a previous visit to Japan, where he appeared disoriented and had to be guided because he didn't know where he was going. Mainstream media hasn't really focused much on this, but as independent outlets continue highlighting these issues, more coverage is finally starting to appear. Still, if you watch that interaction with Prime Minister Takaishi, you saw how she had to steady him as he wandered. This isn't new behavior. It's been happening. Now let's look at some of the headlines that are beginning to surface. One outlet reported on Trump going on a rambling, incoherent rant about the Supreme Court on social media, attacking the rule of law in a scattered and unfocused way. Another report highlighted a St. Patrick's Day incident where Trump referred to Ireland's female president, Catherine Connolly, as he during a White House meeting, fueling fresh concerns about his mental state. There are also reports about him confusing basic facts, like incorrectly stating that his father was born in Germany, when in reality his father was born in New York. His father, who suffered from dementia and Alzheimer's, passed away from those conditions. Meanwhile, questions have been raised about visible red marks on Trump's neck, which the White House has tried to explain away as irritation treated with cream. Even public figures have started speaking out. Grammy-winning artist Maren Morris criticized voters who continue to support Trump, saying people were misled and are now seeing the consequences. Her comments were blunt, calling out what she sees as the result of backing someone unfit for the role. Then there's Illinois Governor Pritzker, who went on CNN and openly said he believes Trump is showing signs of dementia. He pointed out how Trump contradicts himself constantly, struggles to stay consistent even moment to moment, and appears unable to think things through clearly. When pressed, Pritzker doubled down, saying the behavior strongly suggests a serious cognitive issue, even if he's not in a position to formally diagnose it. Let's also revisit that moment where Trump demanded to know why Japan didn't warn him about Pearl Harbor. Think about that. He framed it as if it were a current event, tying it into his idea of surprise military strategy. It's a deeply concerning statement. Then there's the claim he made about the stock market. Trump said the Dow had reached 50,000 recently, when in reality it was nowhere near that level. He presented it as a major achievement, despite it being factually incorrect. He also lashed out at NATO allies, complaining that countries like the UK didn't provide support before a war began, despite the fact that he hadn't informed them in advance. He criticized them for acting too late, even though the timeline was entirely shaped by his own decisions. On top of that, Trump claimed that Iran's military capabilities had been completely wiped out, saying their navy, Air Force, and defenses were gone. But at the same time, reports and footage were emerging showing active Iranian defenses and ongoing strikes in the region. The reality on the ground didn't match what he was saying at all. In another strange moment, Trump called on a Japanese reporter and made an awkward remark about his appearance, asking whether he was one of your people and whether he was a good or bad reporter. It was confusing and inappropriate. His social media activity hasn't helped either. He's been posting erratic messages, including claims about Epstein and attempts to portray himself as some kind of unstoppable figure. At the same time, insiders suggest that communication strategy inside his circle is focused more on creating viral memes than on serious governance. So when you step back and look at everything, the statements, the behavior, the physical signs, the inconsistencies, it raises real questions. I've laid out the information. You can decide for yourself what it all means. Some people, like Governor Pritzker, believe it points to cognitive decline. Others may see it differently. Either way, let me know what you think. And if you can, help us reach 7 million subscribers. Thanks for watching.